Welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about another DIY retirement withdrawal software program called Optiml. I've done a few videos in the past about some DIY retirement withdrawal softwares. I did one on Milestones, which was $89 per year. I did one on May Retire, which is free. And I've done one on Advice, which is $9 per month or $49 for a year. Now, the school year just ended here in Alberta as I record this video, and my youngest son is actually going to be in my wife's school for only 1 year before he comes to the high school with me. And so my wife was wondering about different lifestyle options and retirement options as my youngest will leave her school. And so that got me all excited, and I decided that I would try Optiml this time for some of these scenarios that she came up with. And so if you just go to Optiml's website here at optiml.ca, you can see here on the home screen, they have this 14-day trial, and that's exactly where I went. I figured 14 days was going to be enough for me to run all the scenarios that she came up with. And if you click on the pricing here at the top, you can see they have 3 different tiers. They've got the Essentials here, $99 per year, Pro Plus at $249 per year, and the Legacy for $499 per year. And you can get that for just monthly. If you click on that monthly tab there, you can see that it's $10 per month or $25 per month or $50 per month. And the one that I was interested in trying was this middle tier here, because I wanted to see some of the different options. I wanted to compare. I wanted to try out this CPP and OAS optimizer as well. So I just clicked here on this start free trial. I got an email and I was set up and ready to go. So I'm just going to click on the sign in at the top here. And at the beginning, Optiml will ask you to set up your settings here. And so you'll start with your profile. And I've already got some pre-configured stuff here. It's not any of my data or anything like that. I just filled this out so you can see they want to know where you live, what language you speak, first name and last name, when you were born, your occupation, do you have a spouse? And I selected yes, and that allowed me to set the same profile up for my wife as well. And if you just click in the top left for back to settings, there'll be other settings that you can change here as well. So if you go to the advanced settings, you can play around with some of these. Here's the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. So they default to just the 2%. If you want to change that to anything else, like say 2.1%, I usually use 2.5%. So let's just change it to 2.5. And you can see on the bottom right here that there's a save button, and you can just click on save, and then it'll want you to go to the investments. And once I hit save there, you can see that it's asking me to run the new plan or continue updating. Because I've already set something up, it keeps asking me this every time I save. I'm just going to keep updating so I can show you all the different things that we can do. So I'm going to go back to advanced settings, and you can see all these different things here. Here's the real versus nominal. I like to see things in real dollars, so let's save that and continue updating. Go back to the advanced settings, and you can sort of play around with all of those. And so now on the left, let's click on income, and you can see that I've got something set up for employment income, CPP, OAS, and I do have a pension there. And I'll show you what this other income is. So in the employment, I have both my wife and I said we are still employed, employee. I just put a salary of $85,000 for me. It said, it asks for your growth assumption. So I said 2%. And when you want to start retiring, and I said at 65 years old. And so here is the table of your salary until you do retire, and you can see it in graph form. And if you ever think you're going to get a pay bump or anything like that, you can easily change that. So let's say I'm going to get, I don't know, $95,000 this year. I just type 95,000 and it changes that for me. And you can do, I did the same for my wife. So let's say she made, what did I put her at? $65,000 per year. She's going to retire at 62 years old, and you can see her projected income there. And so if you go back to income, I'm going to save the changes, continue updating, and then go back to income. You're a CPP, and on the CPP, it's going to ask you if you're eligible. You can use the average CPP, and you can see that the average CPP was $803 as of this year in 2026. But if you go to the PWL calculator, that's what I did, found out what mine is. You can just type in whatever you have. So let's say it's $850 per month, and you can put a start date for your CPP. I just selected 68. Before I save it, I'm going to go to my wife, and you can see I just entered some data in here for her as well. And now I can just select save. And then let's go back to income and OAS. It's going to ask you a variety of questions as well. Are you eligible? How long have you been living here? So if you weren't living here for the full 40 years, then it's going to ask you how many years you've lived in Canada. My wife and I have lived in Canada for 40 years, so I'm just going to put yes. And my wife's state is the same, so I'm just going to select save and continue updating. And then go back to income. And you can see, I'm just going to show you the pension here. So we have a defined benefit pension plan here as well. And so let's say I have a pension and it's going to be, I don't know, $25,000 per year. This is one thing that you do need to know if you have a pension, is how much you're going to be putting in, because it does come off of your income. And so I had to look, and mine was about 11%. And that if it's not exact, it does sort of mess a little bit with your calculations. And I'm going to collect my pensions at 55 years old. Nope, sorry, I'm retiring at 65 in this scenario. So I'm just going to get 65. And let's say I'm going to retire at the end of the school year, and my pension is partially indexed to inflation, and it is 70% of CPI. So I'm going to put 70% there. And if you don't know your accrual rate, I had to look it up. For mine, it was 1.4%. No bridge pension. I do have the option, but I'm not going to take it. And yes, it is eligible for pension splitting, and my wife will receive a variety of different options, but for the sake of simplicity, let's just choose the 100%. And then we can add the pension. I'm just going to continue. And then if you have a DCP or pooled registered plan or anything like that, you can go through that and play around with that. Oh, it looks like I've got two different pensions in here. Let's just delete one of them. And so delete that and continue updating. So now I just have the one pension. Sorry, that was in there from a previous example. And so now you go to your investments and you can see I've got something in for my TFSAs, my RRSPs, something in for my non-registered, and some cash. So if you just click on TFSA, you can state if you have one, how much you have in it. You can actually link if you have a wealth account. I do, but I didn't link mine, so I don't know if that works very well or not. If you have any unused contribution room, how much your unused contribution room is, how much you've contributed this year if you have contributed at all, and what the growth rate is expected on that portfolio. So I just put 7%. And you can do the same with your spouse, and then go back to your investments and do the same for your RRSPs and your RESPs and whatever you happen to own. In the cash savings section, it does ask how much you have and what you want to do with that. And so I just selected maintain minimum cash balance of the $10,000. But if you're building up a cash wedge or optimizing your entire cash savings, there's different things that you can do with your cash as well. And then it'll ask you what your growth rate is for your cash. And then if you go to your assets, if you have real estate or insurance or private equity, or you have an inheritance coming, you can fill that all out here. So in the residence section, I just put a primary residence here, and I said a house of $650,000, I don't know, growth rate of 2%-ish, right around inflation. Annual expenses, how much it's going to cost you to run the house, maintenance and all that stuff. Your annual house insurance, your property taxes. Property taxes, I put a growth rate of 4%, but mine actually just went up 13% this year. So I was a little miffed about that. And then if you have a mortgage, you can put it all in there as well. And then back to real estate, again, you have a variety of different options that you can select here. And then if we go to our goals, I put that I had a vacation coming up. It's going to cost $7,500 in the year 2027, so next year. But you can have a variety of different goals that you're saving up for, and it'll all build that into the plan. And then when you go to your expenses, if you have any debt, you can put it into there. The expenses piece, I said, let's live off $75,000. It's got your residence as well. So it cost me $17,000 per year for my house. And so with my after-tax amount that I want to live off, plus my real estate, it's going to be, I want to live off of $92,000 per year. And I just selected the fixed growth for this case, but this is a really neat feature. You have the go-go, slow-go, and no-go years, and you can have different stages. So if you think you're going to have if the start of your go-go is going to be, let's say at 60 and it goes to 70, and then let's say you really start slowing down at, I don't know, 82 or something like that, you can see how the different cash flows coming in each of those different years is affected by each of those years. And you can see how the program reduces your spending in each of those periods. And here you can see all your expenses. And again, you can edit these. So if you have something coming up in one of those years, you can just change that right there. And then just select save. And now I'm going to select, because I've got all of my inputs, I'm just going to hit run new plan. You can also get there by selecting strategy here on the left. And here's a bunch of different plans that you can select. You've got maximize after tax estate, minimize lifetime taxes, maximize lifetime spending, set estate value. I thought this was pretty neat. So if you want to leave, say, I don't know, $1 million to your estate when you die, then the program will compensate so that you spend all your money except for that $1 million. And you can run traditional plans, which would ask you which order you're going to deposit your money, TFSA, RRSP, joint, and you can switch, you can move those around as well. And then your withdrawal order, you can say that I want to go non-registered, then RRSP, then TFSA last, and then you can run the optimize there. But if we go back, you can do an RRSP meltdown, an OAS clawback reducer, you can do a custom order, or you can customize your current plan. So if you select that one and just pick apply changes, and you'll see a variety of things here. So you can see that there's a shortfall here. You can just click on the resolve shortfall and you can do a variety of different things here. I know how much I invest each year. We're pretty consistent. So I just had the program do a reduce my annual expenses by that much. You can do it for all the years that has the shortfall or just the current year. And then if you scroll through, there's a bunch of surpluses here. And if you just get Optiml to optimize where that money is going for all the years, you can just click confirm there. I actually ended up just saying that I would increase my spending because I know exactly how much I put into each of my accounts every year. Whereas now if I let Optiml do it, that extra money will go to either my RRSP or TFSAs or non-registered accounts. And you can scroll through. There's no more issues. It's all being resolved. So then you can click on launch analysis, and this can take a little bit of time. And here you'll have the dashboard on all of your different things that you're looking for. So you can see here, there is the option to do a CPP and OAS optimizer. I really wish this was working right now, but it is not working for the custom plans yet, just for the other plans. You can see your success score here, and you can compare different plans as well. So if you go to your income again, you can choose between nominal and real dollars. I'm going to leave it as real dollars. You can see exactly where all your income is coming from. If you scroll back to the top and go to your investments, you can see here a detailed plan of what's happening with each of your accounts every single year. You can move over to all the different years. You can scroll down and you can see how all your accounts are doing. And again, I didn't even include my real estate, so I just highlighted each of the other accounts so I could see exactly what was happening with each of my portfolios. And if you look at your expenses, you can see exactly what is happening. You can see exactly where all of your money is going to be coming from. And if you wanted to look at your action plan here, you can see what's supposed to happen each of the different years. So this year, my joint account is going up, so I'm investing $7,200 in my joint account. My defined benefit plan is being topped up, and you can see I'm taking away some cash. That's probably interest. I said a maximum of $10,000. So any interest that's coming in, I'm taking and putting it somewhere else. And you can see my wife's putting money into her joint non-registered. And if you wanted to see any other year, so let's say you wanted to look at what's happening at age 57, I'm going to be putting money into my TFSA, my benefits, and taking out that interest from my cash. My wife will be putting money into her TFSAs. And in the insights, again, you can do a variety of different things here as well. And all of your saved plans, you're allowed to do 20 saved plans here. And I've used 15 of them already. Probably most importantly, the cash flow button here. So you can see where you're going to be taking all of your money from. So if you just click on lifetime, it'll show you, well, there's the go-go, slow-go, and the no-go years. And then you can see where all of your money is coming from. I like to filter it. I didn't like to see the taxes. I don't care about that. I didn't want to see the living expenses and the goals. So I got rid of all those. I just wanted to see what was happening to my portfolios. And so you can see what's happening to each. And you can see exactly where all of your money is coming from in each of the different years. And at the top, you can download this, but on the free version, you actually cannot download the CSV version. You do have to pay for it, which makes sense. You can save it and all that sort of stuff. So overall, this was a pretty nice program to play around with. It was pretty intuitive. It was pretty easy to learn. Again, when you start these programs, it does take a little bit to feel it out, and that was the case with this as well, but overall it was a really nice program to use. So I hope this video has shown you how to use Optiml and whether it's right for you. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.